Coach, talk a little bit about the excitement going on. You got your transfers that are eligible to play this year. Kind of a whole new crew in a sense, but still there's a lot of excitement, a lot of talk about what UVU can do. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're really excited. We missed this veteran team we had last year in the sense that we had guys that had been through the ropes and played together for a little while and really put together a extraordinary season for what they have. And we're completely turning the page to a brand new roster. And I feel like we have a ton of talent. We're really, really excited about that. And we just have to figure out how to bring all these new guys and forge a team together. And if we can forge a team that's as unified and as tight and as selfless as the group last year, we'll have a really special season. Like, we could be really special.
What are you able to do to draw all these transfers in?
Well, we begged and pleaded, and really recruited hard. And I think these guys all have come here kind of with a belief in what can happen here. It's an interesting proposition for us because we're selling to these guys where we're headed more than we're able to sell to them where we've been, right? And we have a bunch of guys that believe, a bunch of guys that kind of have a chip on their shoulder. We have a bunch of transfers where things didn't work exactly the way we wanted to, or they didn't perform up to the level they wanted to, and maybe they have some doubters in their lives right now that think maybe they didn't get it done, and that's a great thing to have as a coach because you got a bunch of guys with an edge. So, I think they recognize this as a special time in Utah Valley. It's how we're growing. I think my staff has done an unbelievable job. Coach Figger, Coach Burgess, Coach Daniels, and just hitting the recruiting trail really, really hard and developing relationships. By the time these guys get to campus, we already know them really, really, really well because we spent an inordinate amount of time doing just that, getting to know them, and I think that's been one of the strengths of our recruiting so far.
What's it going to take to get all these transfers to work together, in your opinion?
Well, it's a couple things. One is we have to put them under such duress that they kind of coalesce, right? So the pressure of the situation can really do that if we guide it correctly. And so we're working hard to do that. We've gone 2-a-days straight through. I know nobody does that anymore, but we're doing it. And these guys have worked really, really hard. And we went straight through from September 30th to this past Saturday, and about 20 minutes into practice Saturday morning, these are all 6 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. practices, hard. So we get to Saturday and we get 20 minutes into practice, and it was like a civilian war zone. I had bodies strewn all over the court, and it was really good, right? These guys have really competed hard every single day, and they're growing. And more important than them growing in terms of X's and O's or style of how we play or anything else is the fact that they're sharing this really hard training camp together. And I think that's one of the big ways you bring guys together. The second way you bring guys together is they have to be willing, right? And we have a new group of guys, but we have a lot of veteran players that are just new to Utah Valley and us. And they've shown really good willingness so far to share with each other, and they need to keep doing it.
Coach, as you head into your second year as a head coach, for you and your entire staff, what's kind of the focus that you guys are looking towards for this season?
So we're spending a lot of time on our locker room, just the same questions you guys have been asking. We have all these new guys, all these guys from disparate places and incredibly different backgrounds. I'll tell you, one of the things, we had Tony Jones, who's the beat writer for the Jazz, who does such an amazing job. He came to talk to our team a couple weeks ago in the locker room, just kind of about a lot of the issues that are going around in sports and in the United States right now, and how to deal with the media about it, and how to talk about those things. And I'm looking at my locker room, and I'm like, this is it's extraordinary, because I have 3 guys from different countries all over the world. I have junior college transfers, I have 4-year transfers, I have freshmen, I have returned missionaries, I have guys that are married, I have guys that have no family in the whole world, I have guys from every region and socioeconomic stratus and religious background in the world in this locker room. And it's really exciting, and that's going to either be a great strength for us, or it's going to kind of keep us sideways, right? And so we spend a lot of time on that. If I was just telling you one thing that our staff's thinking about all the time right now is how do we take this really, really talented group and how do we forge a team out of it?
You got a pretty stout non-conference schedule for the in-state teams. Gonzaga, is that going to help kind of get these guys going as you guys enter WAC play, you think?
You will see. You know, I'm not really worried about Gonzaga or BYU, Utah. Those aren't good teams. No, we have a. So one of the challenges that we face right now is we probably have, in all honesty, we probably have one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the Western United States among all teams. And I say that for a couple reasons. Yeah, we're on the road with Gonzaga and Washington State and BYU and Utah, but we're also at Denver and at UC Davis and at Riverside. We have 9 road games in our non-conference schedule, and they're hard. And we're a new team. It's not like this team's been forged together. So a challenge for us is, can we have success in the non-conference, and can we take whatever hits might come and stay together and grow together kind of through that adversity, so that when conference comes, that we can make a real run. Because I think this year I feel like we can stand toe-to-toe with the teams in our conference and really, really compete. But we got to get there first, and we have to somehow get there intact. We can't get there broken down.
You lost a lot of offense last year. I know you were shorthanded. Does this team got enough shooters to compete for a WAC title, tournament title?
I think we do. Now, there's a lot between being able to and actually doing it, right? But I like our guys a lot. I think we can shoot 1 through 5. I think we have some depth coming off the bench. We recruit guys that can make shots. It's really, really important to us. It's important how we play. And so right now I think we have a group. We're not really deep on the front line. We have talented front line players. We're just not very deep. We need this Andrew Bastian to find a way to make it through this season. I think our backcourt is really deep, and I think we're going to replace the scoring from last year. I mean, we lost all our scoring from last year essentially, except for Trey, right? And so we had 6 healthy scholarship players at the end of the season, and we only have 1 of them returning. So, but we're really excited. We're really grateful to those guys and what they did for us last year, because they did something really special. And then we're really excited to get these guys because we have a chance to be good. We really do.
Can you talk about your relationship with Dave Rose? I know you've got quite a few transfers from BYU on this team. How about your relationship with him?
I love Coach. I owe Coach a lot personally in terms of my opportunity to coach and to be in this business and be an assistant coach for him, and then have a chance to be the head coach here. I owe a lot of that to Coach. I've stolen a lot from Coach. That's what we do. I think as young coaches, we just take all the stuff that we learn from the guys we work for, and I love Coach's stuff, and I love what he's done. He's a great mentor, and I'm really grateful for how good he's been to me, and what he's done on an individual level at BYU is truly extraordinary. The consistency of his run over the last, 17 years now or so he's been at BYU, and as a head coach, he's got to be in double digits, right?
12, I think.
12 years. The consistency of what he's done is really remarkable. And then this team that he has rolling in there right now for the next 3 years is his best team in terms of on-paper talent by far, and I suspect he's really excited about what he's going to be able to do with those guys. I love Coach. I'm grateful to him, and I'm really grateful we got to play him for the next 3 years, because we want to try and beat him. We want to try and shock the world and beat him. And Coach is the same way. We just had lunch last week, and he's the same way. He's like, I love you, Mark, but I can't. We beat you by 60 every game. So I think we're really close, and he's been awfully great to us, and he's going to have a great run here for the next several years.
What are you most worried about after having these guys, in the summer and through training camp? What stands out the most?
Well, like I talked about, we need to coalesce as a team, and that's going to take time. And that's a bunch of different factors. That's growing together as a team where we can trust each other and be unselfish enough to play as a team. And it's also growing as a team where we understand each other and know where each other's going to be and how everyone's going to play and what they're best at. And so, that's a challenge for us. we just had such a huge turnover. You know, we only have 3 returning players from our entire roster last year, and so it's a big turnover. So that's a concern for us. The non-conference schedule we have put together is a concern for us because you see teams go through a non-conference schedule like this, and it can destroy a team. It can destroy them. A good team, it can destroy them. So that's something that we're really sensitive to. You know, those are probably the 2 things that weigh on us every single day. The one great thing is I love coaching these guys. I love these guys. I love our locker room right now, and that's not because our locker room is perfect. It's because it's crazy. I mean, we got a bunch of guys here who have big personalities and who really love this game and love being in the gym, and I think that's a fun group to work with.
Coach, you didn't get to see him play last year because he was injured, but what does Zag bring to this team? You know, he had a couple big years for UVU before the injury, but what does he bring for this season?
Well, first and foremost, he brings some leadership to this team, which we desperately need. And Zach's not a super vocal guy, but he's earned all of our players' respect. I think all of our guys look to Zach as a veteran leader. He's kind of been through it. He certainly knows Utah Valley better than anybody else here because he's been here longer. He's an incredibly capable player. He's really smart. He's a great passer, which everybody loves playing with bigs that can really pass the ball. His leadership role is going to be huge for us this year. And I think he's ready. I think he's fully capable to take that on. You know, you talk about leaders on a team all the time. There's a lot of leaders on a team that kind of have a team that's already fully functional and fully together, and the leader just kind of is a voice, right? That's not the challenge for Zach here. Zach has a real challenge about being one of the voices in the locker room that brings all these guys together, and I think he's ready for it.
Coach, they've mentioned the shock the world mantra.
Yep.
Isaac mentioned, is that still kind of the mentality here?
Yeah.
Is to shock the world?
Yeah, I think that's what we're chasing all the time. Is we're trying to become something that nobody believes we can be. That's just the truth, okay? And that's a real benefit to us because nobody believes that we can be what we think we can be this year and in the next couple of years. I don't think there's anybody that believes that we can be as good as we quietly think we can, and so that's what we're chasing. And we're at Utah Valley University, which doesn't have a real history in Division I basketball, and so it's easy for people not to recognize us. I just talked to a former teammate from the NBA just today, this morning, and he was like, so is Utah Valley Division I school, right? And so when you talk about shocking the world, man, we have a place set for us to do that, and we're really hungry to do that. Now, that's a hard job, right? And the reason why it's worth chasing is because nobody can do it. It's so hard to do. And so I think my guys are keenly aware of the uphill battle that we're facing, and we want to go crush it. We're gonna really take a big swing at this.